Sorrow again in Aceh. Nearly 3 years since the conflict ended, relatives of former rebels of the Free Aceh movement are praying for the souls of the 5 murdered men. They were attacked at night by hundreds of villagers in a remote part of central Aceh. One of the survivors is under police protection in the local hospital. The former rebels have received instructions from their leaders not to endanger the peace process and refrain from retaliation.
Our fear now is that the peace process will be in danger. Finally, people were living in peace again. Now they feel worried. Their fear has returned.
The peace deal between the Free Aceh movement and the Indonesian government was signed in 2005 after a bloody conflict that had lasted nearly 30 years. Rebels returned to their villages and thousands of weapons were destroyed. The dead from this new outbreak of violence were allegedly attacked by former pro-Indonesian militia, who are mostly non-Acehnese migrants, unhappy with the peace deal. The villagers refused to speak on camera, but claim the murdered men were extorting money from them. Their leaders say they even want to split off from Aceh and no longer want to be governed by former rebels.
I urge all the former rebel leaders, wherever they are, to find better people to work with. Don't recruit those thugs again.
The attack seems very well planned. The office of the former rebels is thoroughly destroyed, and one of the bodies was even found here in this deep well. The violence only shows how fragile the peace process in Aceh still is. The governor in Aceh, himself a former rebel, blames outside forces who are trying to sabotage the peace process.
Probably someone there in the cloud or behind the mountain, they're not happy when ex-rebels become governors. Who knows?
Police have arrested a former militia leader and 15 other people for the attack in central Aceh. The police chief denies there are any political motives behind the violence. The villagers trying to build their lives in this region can only hope to avoid a return to the violence that scarred it for decades. Stad Vasen, Al Jazeera, Aceh.